this video is probably going to be the only time you're thinking about dirt. Dirt, soil, is everywhere. Its everywhereness is so everywhere that it's just boring to think about, which is kind of a shame, considering it literally makes up the ground we walk on. Soil science is a massive part of biology, resource availability, and agriculture. Our home planet is named after it. And now that we're thinking about Earth, I want to start a conversation on alien Earth. How do the characteristics of a soil within a region affect the life that grows off of it? Other planets could have bizarre landscapes, dazzling skies, and blah blah blah. But how different would an alien planet be once you stepped foot on it? This video is going to be about dirt, and we're going to be splitting it up into two topics. The first being basic soil science, covering the different types of soil that can be found on Earth and where to find them on other planets. And a much more colorful topic, an exploration of this book, where to find clay minerals and where to find many different colors of clay, known as ochre. Get your gloves on, or don't, I don't really care, because we're gonna get dirty. Dirt is quite the unassuming material on the surface. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll see that there's quite a lot of layers to all of that. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. For real though, we classify soils based on the presence and depth of three main layers, known as soil horizons. The first soil horizon is the topsoil, labeled A. This is composed of mainly silt-sized particles and dark-colored, decomposed organic matter, commonly called humus. Below that, we get the second soil horizon, the subsoil, which we label with the letter B. This layer is where a bunch of weathered material accumulates. This could be in the form of weathered rock and some organic material, which have moved down from the topsoil, but the subsoil mainly accumulates iron oxides and aluminum. Because the subsoil is mainly composed of weathered material, this region is dominated by clay. As we go deeper, we encounter the sea horizon. And here, we begin to see the parent rock material below all the soil. It still experiences some weathering, so they may be in the form of boulders and, rock-sized things. Below this final soil horizon, we reach bedrock. It's more of the parent rock, but now in its undisturbed, solid form. So those are the big three soil layers, but like most things, it's a lot more complicated than this. The physical environment and the life that resides in the soil will impact the composition of the soil and form new layers. This is especially important in context of an alien planet, like my homeworld Capitoline, where the environments and life forms are drastically different compared to Earth's. So before I introduce some actual soil profiles and getting to mapping them, we're gonna need more layers than this. In forests, there's another layer above the topsoil that's mainly composed of organic material that hasn't decomposed much. This layer is known as the forest floor. Like, that's the name of it, and it's also labeled the O horizon. In some really wet regions, the topsoil would be waterlogged for a good part of the year. Because this layer of soil is heavily saturated with water, this would create an anoxic environment, slowing down the decomposition of organic matter, allowing for plant matter to accumulate and condense into a material known as peat, a very useful fuel source, pretty much a precursor to coal. As such, this layer is called the peat layer. Sometimes there's so much water in a region that it forms its own layer, either a water horizon on the surface or a layer below the ground that's frozen for part of the year. If that water layer is frozen permanently, then it's an ice layer. Ice layers are usually found above the bedrock, below every other layer. In regions of high acidity or a lot of leaching, we get an extra layer between the topsoil and the subsoil, a region that has lost a lot of clay, iron, and aluminum, known as the bleached layer. All of that clay, iron, and aluminum goes into the subsoil. There are also suffixes for each of these layers, sort of like subcategories, but there are so many of them that they ran out of letters in the alphabet look at that, that's ridiculous. Hopefully the reasons are obvious, but we're ignoring that. Finally, those are all the main soil horizons layers that we need to characterize a region. A soil type may not have all of these types of layers, but whatever layers that are present and how dominant they are determine the soil order. This is basically the type of soil. They just call it the order because they wanted to make it sound fancier than this is. We're literally talking about dirt. Looking at Earth, soil scientists have determined 12 big soil orders. Luckily for me, each of these 12 soil types can be broken down by climate zone. Here are all the tropical soils found in the A climate zones. Here are the desert soils found in the B climate zones. Here's the temperate climate soils, continental, and polar. Not exactly a perfect breakdown, there's some overlap here and there, but you get the point. Alright, so now we're gonna take the time to take a better look at the soil map for Capitoline, if I haven't showed it to you already. And I'll just talk about my methodologies and stuff like that too. So yeah, Inceptisols, these are the soil types that are found in like steeper areas, mountains, stuff like that. Pretty much I just layered them all around my mountains. That's it. Let me turn on my mountains for a sec. Yeah, sorta like that. If it's a little unclear, I will open that. Yeah, here's my height map. I had some creative freedom here. There's a bit of Inceptisol bleeding into the Sahara Desert, so I just went with that here as well. Histosols are the soil types found in colder, wetter climates, like wetlands, peat bogs, stuff like that. And here's an interesting thing about these three continents specifically, these three here. Bomi, Broom, and Ampant were originating from the night side of the planet, but over geologic history, they both were moving eastward into the day side of Capitoline. While they were in the night side of the planet, these continents would be covered in gelisol, the colder soils covered in permafrost, but now that they return to the day side of the planet, that permafrost is going to melt, exposing that heavily compressed organic matter, the peat. And yeah, I just put it all where these three continents are sort of getting sunlight exposure. Sort of like that. I guess if I wanted to, I could bring all of that histosol in more, like in westward, but I like it where it is. The Beryllium Islands have become a lot more interesting, in my opinion. Podzol occurs in regions where conifers, like pine trees, evergreen, stuff like that, they acidify the soil, leading to a quite substantial amount of mineral leaching. And I did not map it. My reasoning is that that's conifers doing the job of acidifying the soil, creating podzol. That's exclusive to Earth, so not on Capitoline. You also only find podzols on continental climates, which Capitoline also just doesn't have. I also might as well flip-flop between the soils and the biomes map. Yeah, lastly, before we get to the Capitoline specific types of soil, I want to talk about this region in Ampant right here. Alphasols are found in temperate, humid regions. They're very fertile, very clay rich. Again, these are only found in temperate, moist regions of the planet. So anywhere sort of bordering our rainforests, temperate climates. Yeah. In most regions, it's sort of a nice gradient. They're bordering between our rainforest soils and our drier soils, except for this right here. This band of alphasols. It is in a temperate climate, but why is that in the middle of much drier soil? If we turn on the air currents for the alien season, we'll see that the substellar front is right above this region of Ampant. The substellar front is where a lot of rising wet air is going to accumulate. That wet air, of course, is going to hold moisture, which is going to rain back down and create that moist band on the surface of Ampant. And it looks like if you want to get more detailed with how you map certain regions, you could do it based on like topology and all that. But in my opinion, you have a lot of artistic freedom when it comes to where you place your soil types. But we can get even wackier. Knowing all the different soil horizons a soil type can be made of, we can just make our own. Again, according to whatever our planet needs. As you can hopefully see, whatever a soil is made of depends on the particle size, sand, clay, silt, stuff like that, moisture or precipitation or humidity, and whatever life grows in it. making the soil more fertile or acidic, for example. But on another planet, even the dirt may be alien. An alien planet like Capitoline will of course have vastly different characteristics that will not only impact what soil exists in some regions, but what life can grow from that soil. So let's take a look at Capitoline and map out custom soil profiles. Alright, now for the meat of all of it. Based on whatever your planet has going on its surface, you could pretty much make your own soil horizons, soil profiles, stuff like that. And I felt like Capitoline needed 3 custom ones, so let's just blow right through these. Let's start with our first. The first Capitolinian soil type is found in the Elysian mudflats. If you're familiar with the series, we talked a lot about it before, but if you're not, this is a region right below the substellar point that receives a lot of rain. This is going to create a very waterlogged topsoil and a very leached subsoil. And like always, I asked you guys to name the soil types in my Discord server, and I have chosen merger suggestions to name this type of soil Permitisol. Those familiar with this series might know a much worse region on the planet, and that's where we're headed right now. Our second custom soil type is in the
Ocala Wastelands,
southern Ampan, where the rain is just like a lot worse, like catastrophic, biblical. That's the best word I could use for how rainy this place is. It's biblical. So much rain occurs here that there is, instead of a topsoil, there is just a permanent thick layer of water, and then a heavily waterlogged subsoil, and then just pure bedrock. Nothing can survive here. Everything else is just going to be eroded away by the rain. I've chosen viewer and Discord member H2O's suggestion to name it Ordenzol. That's fun and all for the day side of the planet, but now I think we need to throw it back to the night side of the planet. On the night side of Capitoline, there are creatures called kinetotrophs that, instead of subsisting off of sunlight or chemical reactions like those near hydrothermal vents, these guys survive off of the kinetic energy fueled by the perpetual winds around Capitoline. Some of these are macroscopic, similar to like bushes on Earth, and they subsist on the solid land, the gelisol. But some of them are also microscopic bacteria that subsist off of minerals and impurities carried by snow. So I had to map snow for this bit. In regions that are permanently night, like that shaded region, and that receive a lot of snow, like these blue regions, we would get a very thin organic layer. Again, there's life going on here, doing all that, decomposing when they die, creating an organic layer. This, of course, is going to be on top of our snow, which is technically, I'm going to call it an ice layer, and then our parent rock underneath. And for this final custom soil type for Capitoline, I've chosen VGG's suggestion to name it Xenosol. Alright, so it's like midnight, I'm in the middle of editing this video, and I just think to myself, you know what, I did say it was a 2-parter, why not literally split the video in 2? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. You just finished part 1, which is again, basic soil science. Part 2 is the video you're gonna see next week, which is gonna cover the ochres and the colors of Earth, stuff like that. Which is, in my opinion, a lot more exciting. Even the book itself is pretty. Just look at that. If you're excited to see part 2 of this video, be sure to like and